Hello, it's Leslie here again. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about long-term goals, and I'll reveal a secret of mine. And I'm probably going to limit this video to 5 minutes because I just want to make a short video because there's a couple of videos I'm going to do in sequentially. So my best friend doesn't actually know that I'm learning Russian or Italian. They don't know that I speak Russian because I could speak it okay right now. But it's more important to understand anyway than I think to speak. But they don't actually know that I've spent the last 3 years or so speaking Russian. And I'm not going to tell them either. And I kind of think that's an interesting goal to have, that maybe one day the right moment will come up and I will just let my secret out of the bag and you know, say something. But I kind of visualize that moment and I think, what would I say in that, if they said, "Oh, you can speak Russian," what would I actually say at that moment? I kind of visualize myself and all the things I could say. So I like to use this technique a little bit, not all the time, but just to picture myself in the future and see it happening. And I think that's a technique athletes use to visualize their goals of themselves winning and so on. And I didn't start out intentionally keeping it a secret. In fact, there was actually one moment I said a word and my friend said, "What did you say?" I didn't hear that. And it was a foreign word and they didn't hear it. And I thought, I don't feel like saying that again. And I said, "Oh, nothing." And then carried on. I think it's very interesting. Hiding, I suppose that's the right word. It's very interesting, the idea of being able to speak a language that other people don't know. When other people don't know, like for example, that movie. What's the name of that movie? I'll have to look it up. Yeah, I think it's Meet the Parents with Greg Fokker. What's his name? I've forgotten his name. Ben Stiller. There's a moment that he mentions that the father can speak Korean and his own family don't know that he can speak Korean or something. Or his wife, according to the wife, she doesn't even know. But due to his job being a spy, he can speak Korean. And I just think there's something intriguing in that. And for example, the other example is, I suppose, James Bond. But he's supposed to speak many different languages in the 007 series thing. So I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to just try this out and then just one day out of the blue start speaking and see what people's reactions are. No, definitely not. I don't want this channel, I don't like showing off, right? I'm not one of those people that will ever do one of those videos where you see me speaking all the languages that I can do, and it's not that many actually. But I won't do that because that's not why I'm learning them. I'm learning them to know more about their culture and pretty much to be able to watch their TV and learn more about them. I suppose my real goal is, to be able to watch TV and then just change the channel from one to the other, and be able to understand what's going on. I think that's one of my goals for 4 of my languages anyway. And the other 2 would be just to have a basic, where do I find the nearest such and such conversation? Basic. Anyway, wouldn't it be good, if... No. Yeah, I wasn't gonna... The thing is, I'll talk about something else. My friend speaks a lot of languages, and he was lucky enough to grow up speaking 4 different languages. Now, I met him, and I was learning Spanish at the time. I could already speak it, so I spoke 2. And to his 4, I compared myself to him and thought, well, that's a lot of languages. 4, how can you even do that? So he speaks English, German, Spanish, and Thai. But he speaks those, there's a difference between me and him, or him and I rather. There's a difference between him and I, and that is I've had to learn them the hard way as an adult. And he grew up with them. Like his father speaks German, his mother spoke Thai, or his father spoke German, I should say. He's passed away. But anyway, he went to an English school and he lived in Spain. So he had all these 4 cultural influences coming to him from when he was very small. So he's lucky enough. And many people in Europe are like in that same situation where they speak, some say you live in Switzerland, it's normal for people to speak French, German and Italian or something like that, and English or whatever. 3 or 4, but they're all languages from that region. You don't ever see, well, I won't say you don't ever see. Some people have languages as their hobby in Europe, but most Europeans don't speak, I don't know, Chinese and Swahili, right? But there are some Europeans who take that on board and then try and learn others. And I'm a bit like that. Well, I didn't grow up in Europe, but I'm one of those people that's had to have an interest in things and do it my way. But the good news is, I was able to choose my languages. He had those languages kind of worked out for him. He didn't really choose to learn German and Spanish and Thai and English. So as it turns out, I didn't really actually choose Spanish either, because I kind of fell in love with a woman, and that's the reason I learnt Spanish. But even so, the others that I'm learning, that's Italian and Russian, I'm choosing them out of all the languages. I'm choosing them, and it's very different. So anyway, there's a bit of, I suppose I'm fairly competitive, and there was a bit of rivalry between my friend and I, and so I wanted to get to 4 languages with him not even realizing it. I wanted to match his 4 languages without him even knowing that I'm already there, right? And I thought, and even surpass that. I thought that would be interesting. But I don't get to see, it's not such a big secret, because they live in another country now, my friends, and I don't see them very often, and I still communicate with them, but I don't have to keep a secret every day or every other day from them. So it's not such a big thing. And I doubt they're going to find this YouTube channel. And but if they found it, they probably would have already told me. So the only thing I've had to be careful with is really sending them, say I send them a screenshot on WhatsApp, I can't do it. I nearly let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. I nearly slipped up and sent them a screenshot with my phone in Russian, like it had the date or something like that with Cyrillic characters. And let's have a look how it looks. Yeah, I don't know. It might have been the home page. It might have been the desktop. I don't know. But I thought, no, I can't send that because that'll give the game away. Anyway, what I wanted to know is, do you speak any languages? Are you hiding any languages from anyone? I would like to know how many people, or even have you been in a situation where you have been with people and they don't realize that you can actually speak the language? That's another scenario that happens quite a bit because people make assumptions all the time. I was in a hospital once and I found out the nurse could speak Chinese, and I thought that was amazing. You know, like I thought it sounds very odd when you hear a Caucasian person speaking fluent Chinese. It's very odd. And she told me that, or us, that, you know, she was in a situation in China. I think it was China, or maybe it was Australia when she came back. No, it was probably China. And she was at a fish market, and she asked for some fish or something, and then they said something, you know, and the other person said, oh, don't worry, just give her the old stuff. She's a foreigner. This is all in Chinese, obviously. Give her the old stuff. She's just a foreigner. She won't even know, right? And then the nurse who understood all that just said, you should never assume. And she said it in perfect fluent Chinese, right? And then ever after that, she got served the freshest fish from that place. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, you know, they were totally embarrassed and didn't realize, and they slipped up. They'll probably never do it again either. So that, I think that happens quite a bit, and in elevators and things, that people overhear things. So I thought it'd be cool, and the reason I did it, you might think it's funny, but I heard that my friend went to a really good school, and it was an international school. This is the friend I'm talking about, and one of his schoolmates was Russian, and I thought, well, there's a slim chance, a very slim chance that maybe one day I might meet that person. Who knows? They might visit Sydney, and then, you know, I'll see what happens. So anyway, that's just what happens to me. A little story. I'll tell you another thing as well. I went to a design college a few years ago and studied graphic design at the now defunct Martin College in Sydney. And one of the teachers was foreign, and I knew she was foreign. And I said, where are you from? And she didn't want to tell me. I'm like, well, I'm not going to discriminate against you. Why wouldn't you want to tell me where you're from? And it turns out she was Russian. And at the time, I hadn't started learning Russian yet, because this was about 5 years ago. So I wish I could meet her now. But she wanted to hide the fact that she was Russian, because maybe people have a negative opinion about Soviet Russia or something, you know, I don't know. But that's certainly not the case with me. Anyway, she eventually told me, yes, she was from Russia. And I thought, oh, okay, that's good. And maybe she didn't realize that some people are interested in learning Russian. I don't know. But I was very interested in it. Anyway, that's another example of someone hiding their language. And maybe, yeah, people have different reasons for hiding them. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. Thank you for watching. My next video will probably be, well, I'll wait and see. I don't know what it's going to be. Thanks for watching. Bye.